Hey nail tubers, today's unboxing started as a pleasant surprise, so I've been rather eager to show this to you. So while I unbox it, if you remember we tried that super old airbrush machine of mine when I saw those TikToks I wanted to try, and they didn't come out bad. Actually, a couple of them were nice. And in that video, if I remember correctly, yeah, that was a lie because we were trying to troubleshoot things in the process. In particular, we did conclude that the machine might be too powerful by way of PSIs, right? And if you're not familiar, PSI stands for pounds per second when it comes to the amount of air or product released by the unit. If you think of air pumps like at the gas station that you can hear and you can even feel the pressure. So yeah, I used the old one for airbrushing t-shirts. Now that was a long time ago, like in the 90s. And I wasn't very experienced then, but managed to pull off some nice work. And there's so much more that goes into airbrushing than just spraying it on. So I'll be sharing some tips with you from my past experiences, along with things from the instruction manual that I hope will help you get started too. And you know what? I don't know if modifications have been made to the old one I have because they're still out there on the market, but they can be super noisy too. I know some of you remember. Now, I'm not saying it can't be used for nail art, but in my opinion and previous experience with my old one, I'm thinking the handheld ones that are now becoming popular within the nail community might be more suitable. So I had been thinking to get one as the airbrush trend has come back and really gaining traction. So I was pleasantly surprised when this company reached out to me. The company is Pelcas and they're on Amazon. They asked if I wanted to try their airbrush, and you already know. And I'll still keep my old dinosaur. So they sent this and it's beautiful, and I appreciated the packaging too. I just think it's a much more fitting aesthetic to have at your nail station, even just as a conversation piece. The client sees it and starts asking questions. Next thing you know, you just upgraded your service doing a quick and simple design, which I will be showing a few designs as well, so be sure to keep watching. Now, I would go so far as to consider this a great investment just for that reason. Everything takes practice, but once you get a few designs under your belt, clients are going to go crazy. And this is the season to get started too. Girl, put that art on a few fingers and that big toe too. And not only have you increased your flow of profit, you know your name is going to get out there, which is a way to trim some marketing costs because your clients will be wearing it for you. So I'm excited to get into this. I'm really happy with the color too. It's beautiful and has such an elegant look. The information for this Pelcas cordless airbrush will be in my description box for you. So now that you've seen the packaging, this is what it comes with. An airbrush gun, compressor unit, 2 screw-ons, 3 gravity fluid cups in small, medium, and large, some cleaning brushes, a spanner, like a little wrench, and a plastic pipette. And it's very easy to assemble. Take a look. Now before you start, you'll need to know the key parts and functions too. The gravity fluid cup. The fluid feeds down into the unit with the pull of gravity. Now the nozzle is covered with a protective cap when not in use, and this is where you'll see the needle. The Pelcas Airbrush comes with a Type-C charging cord that connects around the back, and it's rechargeable, so that makes it cordless. And I went ahead and charged it before the video so I can show the display in a minute. The charge renders about 60 minutes of use, and the instructions do recommend that it shouldn't be used while charging. A dual action trigger, so there's two actions to control the trigger. Pressing it straight down is for airflow, and then pulling it back controls the paint or color. The fuel control knob controls the amount of fluid that passes through the nozzle. There's an LCD display that shows air pressure and PSIs. Now there's 4 settings to the power button. On the first click it'll turn on and it's automatically set at 22 PSI. The second click takes it to 26 PSI. The third click takes it to 36 PSI, and then the fourth click will turn it off. Then I got some paint. Water-based I think is a wiser choice, so I got these from Amazon, and they're from a company called Badger. Now the funny thing about that is it's the same company my old airbrush machine is from. And there are types of paint that you would have to dilute or thin out. But for the first try with this machine, I chose to go with this because it's ready mixed, and I also got it because if you notice, it says nail color. Now that could be just marketing gimmick, but the only way to find out is to try it, right? No matter what you decide to use, always be sure to shake your paints well before using them. So I prepared stands with full coverage nails, and these are actually inexpensive wall hooks that I've had since starting my channel, and they're great to keep from messing up what I use for videos. I have a few dapping dishes for mixing. I just feel the other paint cups are larger than the nail art I'd be doing for now anyway. And there's a pipette to transfer the paint, but you'll see what happens with that in a few. And here's my paint. Off to the side, along with some alcohol and acetone, I have Q-tips and some curettes. And I hope I have enough paper towel cut down. If I need anything else, it'll just have to be a scramble because my memory of doing this is somewhat vague and the instructions are kind of limited, but you haven't missed much from what I've been explaining so far. This will be the base color for the nails. It's by Imeli and it's color number 200, and this is a milky white. I'll only polish one coat and cure it for 30 seconds for the sake of demonstrating the airbrush, but I do suggest doing 2 coats of polish. So while I'm polishing, I should share safety tips with you. You should work in a well-ventilated area. I'm right next to a window. I do recommend that you wear a mask or a respirator because spray products do atomize into the air and you don't want to breathe it in, even if it says non-toxic. Protect your sight from overspray or splattering by wearing eye protection. And gloves help protect the skin from overspray and splattering that can possibly cause allergic reactions as well. Always use the lids on the gravity fluid cup when in use. And get in the habit of doing test sprays and color swatches before spraying any color, so the paint is ready to use, and I'll make sure to shake it up. I picked this blue. It's called Heavenly Blue, and it's a good color, right? Then I have white, and that's called Whipped Cream. Isn't that cute? I mixed them together because I wanted a lighter blue, and you'll see what happened to the pipette. It became stained with the color, which I kind of wondered if it would happen. I just wasn't certain because these are water-based paints. But I do have a stock of pipettes, so if you're considering airbrushing, I'd suggest to get some and have one for each basic color. Now the first thing is to remember to take the cover off the nozzle. Now I know it sounds simple, but you'll be surprised at how easy it is to forget. Then I'll put the paint mix in the gravity fluid bowl. Turning the unit on, and I chose the middle speed, which is 26 psi. So here's a spray test. And doing the test isn't just to get the color flowing. You should also be determining how far back you need to pull the trigger. And eventually I did switch to 36 psi. Keep some distance when spraying your color. Ideally, the paint should go on with a dry look, which it might be hard to tell because of the shine from the polish. Thin layers give the best results. As I continued spraying, I started rocking the nail back and forth so it would fully cover from one side to the other. Now a second coat of airbrush can be done to your liking. I wanted it to stay faint. And I'm happy with how the blue turned out, so I decided to add another color. And this is Purple Haze mixed with cherry to get purple. Then I lightened it with white too. Here's my spray test. And this is pretty similar to doing an ombre. It turned out a bit darker than I anticipated, but I think it still looks nice. I'll add some chrome effect with Born Pretty Silver Chrome Gel. I've been liking these random patterns lately. They're easy and don't take much time. Oh, and I said earlier I'd do a few designs, and there will be. I just decided to separate them because of the length. I want to thank Pelcas for sending me this cordless airbrush. I really enjoyed using it. And this definitely kicked off me getting back into airbrushing, but this time on nails. I love how they turned out. Leave a like if this was helpful to you, and if you like how they turned out, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you for being here today, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Much love.